A nice kickoff to the 19th Amendment. We have a good group of people that are going to be planning this event. And one of the things that is really important for me, and I know all the women that are going to be part of it, and including Kathy, is that yes, it was a historic event, but it was not a historic event for everybody. And I think having people understand the differences there, and the fact that it took 50 years for all women actually from the 19th Amendment to be allowed to vote, it's just something that I think needs a significant emphasis. So I'm looking forward to the work of that committee, and it's just such an important thing for the state of Wisconsin to celebrate our place as being the first state that signed on. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions people have.
So the Marquette University Law School poll yesterday showed a lot of public support for many big policy priorities, except for the gas tax. How do you anticipate pushing that issue forward?
Well, first of all, I anticipate pushing it forward because if that and healthcare and education were all part of our agenda for the election of my election last November. And it continues to play out. We heard about it a lot last night in Kenosha when we were there. That I understand the reticence around raising taxes. We're trying to modify that as much as we can with a minimum markup. But the bottom line, we know we can't borrow our way out of this problem. We know we have a problem because people have told us, and our roads are rated some of the worst in the nation. Economic development means that we have to have good roads. I was just with all the Dairy Business Association people yesterday, and one of their top priorities is to make sure that they have good roads to take their product to market. We will need additional resources to make that happen. I understand the pushback against raising those taxes, but it's one of those situations where if we don't have the resources, we won't be able to solve this problem. And so we will continue to make our case around this issue.
Governor, tomorrow Bernie Sanders will be here in town. Are you intending to go to that, first of all? And second of all, did you vote for him or Hillary Clinton in the 2016 primary?
They call that a secret ballot, as I remember. So I won't respond to that. But no, I won't. I have other issues. I actually, this isn't going to be funny, but it seems typical for Wisconsin weather. Bernie's going to be in talking right on Lake Mendota in gale force winds. It doesn't sound like a perfect opportunity, but anyway, I welcome all the candidates to Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is going to be an extraordinarily important place in this upcoming primary election and upcoming election. So I hope they all come. I hope they all come often. I welcome them there. I will be glad to do that. I won't be at a Senator Sanders event because of a prior commitment, but I do welcome him and any other candidate. I know there's a bunch. I also know from my own experience that even though it can be trying at times, a large primary is actually good for democracy. I've said this 100 times, if not more, that at the end of the day, I felt the primary that I was involved with actually helped me become the next governor of the state of Wisconsin because of energized voters, and that energy carried through the primary.
Why not say who you supported in 2016?
Pardon me?
Why not say who you voted for in 2016?
Because it was my wife and I we vote together. It's a date night for us voting, and we don't tell each other who we voted for, and I'm not going to share who I voted for.
Governor, could you give us any update on the 15 appointments that remain vacant? Do you plan to fill those anytime soon?
We continue to evaluate that on a regular basis. So we're consulting with our attorneys on that, and hopefully we can resolve that issue soon and either appoint people or find some resolution. But it's clear that it boils down to those 15. But I encourage people to think back why we're in this position we're at, and that is. In late December, the Republicans decided to challenge the will of the people, I believe, and as a result of that, we're sitting here in this weird controversy about appointees, and especially appointees that aren't paid appointees or people that are volunteering to provide advice to the government. But that said, we're weighing our options at this time.
Do you have any plans in right now for the Board of Regents and the Public Utilities Commission, which doesn't have quorum right now?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time the Public Service Commission has not had a quorum. We have two. We have 2 out of 3, so we do have a quorum. It's just that it could end up in a 1-1 tie. But we're weighing our options here, and I'm consulting with legal counsel on that issue.
Well, this issue may have started with Republicans. It's in your court now. You've chosen to not reappoint these members. How is this not exacerbating tensions, or in other words, taking the low road on this issue?
Well, I'd say we took the high road. We had a judge, and it's been validated, that says that the special session violated the Constitution. That decision has not changed. And then, of course, we had to challenge around whether there was a temporary injunction or not, and we now have a temporary injunction, so therefore it is clear that those appointments were made that were not appropriate. And so we're following the lead of the people that are making these decisions in the judicial system. So I think that's a high road, in my opinion. We're cognizant of the issue, but we are doing it within our rights as governor and my administration.
Last question here.
Have you been monitoring what's going on in Columbia County with the district attorney, and do you have any plans on appointing a new district attorney anytime soon?
It'll happen soon. Absolutely. She's no longer, as I understand it, no longer district attorney. She's resigned. And so we plan to appoint somebody post haste. It's important. We can't have justice being delayed.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, could you talk about your meeting with Fitz and Voss yesterday? Sorry, great.
Scott.
Yeah, the question was about the meeting yesterday with Fitzgerald and Voss, the speaker and the majority leader. It's a good conversation. I mean, I'm not going to go through the details as Speaker Voss talked about. We're not going to be negotiating via the press, but it was a good meeting, and we had a good conversation, and we'll be meeting again in a couple of weeks.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good day.